How many people fall for your scams?
1,000 Canadian idiots.
That man claimed to be working for Service Canada, telling me I had to give him my personal information or risk getting arrested. This phone scam came only hours after Canada's telecom regulator called for a larger crackdown on this widespread practice that defrauds millions of dollars from Canadians annually, introducing new measures targeting these scammers.
Investigation Division of Service Canada. How can I help you?
The call from this afternoon was a Vancouver number, and when I refused to give the man my name and SIN number, his tone changed and he began threatening me.
Okay. So you want to be up or you want it to do me? I do for you a favor. I come at your home, you give me your then after I cancel all the allegations.
Hours earlier, the CRTC announced a new technology that would use IP-based phone systems to verify if calls are legitimate, named Stir Shaken. So in essence, the caller ID display would indicate whether the number is safe to answer. But it's up to the phone company to determine how they'll implement this and how it will show up on your phones. Rogers, the parent company of City News and Bell Canada, both say they are working to adopt this technology. TELUS has not responded to our request for comment. This technology is already used in the U.S. and is expected to go in effect by September 2020 here in Canada. One security expert says this is a good first step.
We need to onboard a united front by all mobile carriers who provide services across Canada.
According to the Canadian Anti-Fraud Centre, from January to October of this year, there was a little over 19,000 reported telephone scams. A little over 4,100 were victims reported to have lost $24 million. How much money do you make off this?
Oh my goodness, madam. Every day. $72,000 every day.
The CRTC says 2 more measures are also being taken to reduce the number of these spoof calls, including a call block feature which service providers are expected to implement by December 19th. That will see calls that feature a weird sequence of numbers to be blocked. Both Rogers and Bell say they are on track to roll this out by the deadline. These calls oftentimes come from all around the world and have become a nuisance for many.
Right now, it's ridiculous. I'm getting them probably 3 times a day.
I certainly would worry about someone who is older and feels vulnerable and frightened.
The CRTC is also working on an industry-wide call traceback that would identify where these unwanted calls are coming from. This feature is currently under trial, and a report is due back to the CRTC next spring. The CRTC is reminding Canadians that the government doesn't ask for money or personal information over the phone. And if you are questioning the validity of the caller, never be afraid to hang up and verify the person on the other line is who they say they are.